Hi there, I'm Mike Siegel in front of a veritable castle here in Duluth, Minnesota. It's incredible, but the really amazing part is what's been hidden inside untouched since the early 1900s.
But the story really begins across town, where Susan Phillips is on a mission. She's fighting to save the historic Duluth Armory from demolition.
The performers that were here were Louis Armstrong, Leonard Bernstein, Roy Orbison, everybody. But it was not just for Minnesota. I mean, this was like a national scale performance center. The who's who was here.
So all the biggest names used to come here and play.
Bob Dylan decided to become a musician after seeing Buddy Holly perform there. But the times are a-changin', and the old building was on its way out.
It was going to be torn down, and we had to prove that it had a history and that it was a performance center.
Susan had no idea that hiding in her mysterious mansion was evidence to help her prove that history.
This place is amazing. When you first walked in, your first impression, what was it?
This is like a Model T that was put in the garage. They closed the door and left it there.
All Susan and her husband Tony knew was the previous owner had lived here until she was 103, and she took great care of the place.
We went through the house room by room, and I was amazed at what we were seeing. Incredible quality, untouched since the day it was built.
So it's almost like a museum when you walked in.
Yeah, it really was.
This is the original paint from 1912.
A little dish soap cleaned off years' worth of coal dust.
All of a sudden it's glistening and sparkling and it looks like new. Everybody thought we repainted.
While Susan and Tony cleaned, they discovered hints about their unusual home's past. Whoever built it really wanted to make a statement.
First of all, we were to find a gymnasium where we could put a basketball court.
Oh man, look at this. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, here's the original basketball hoop.
That's the hoop?
Yep, that was the hoop.
That's small.
Yeah.
Then we found a shower that was a Swedish massage shower with sprays and needles, and got a full massage just going into the shower.
That's great. Oh, I'm getting one of these.
Tony even found an elaborate billiards room, still intact from the day it was built.
All of the equipment, the ball racks, the scoring board, all the lamps, all of the paintwork on the ceiling is all as it was. Nothing has changed. This is as it was installed in 1912. The cue sticks are ebony. He had a whole set, and they're all hand wrapped on the bottom with metal wrapping.
Oh, they are?
Yep, and they're incredibly expensive today. These are very rare pieces.
Oh my gosh.
And everything's in mint condition.
And it was all here when you walked in?
That was all here when we walked in.
So who lives in a house for nearly a century without leaving a scuff mark? The neighbors helped fill in the blanks. The builder was a man named Gus Carlson, a mining baron from Sweden.
And as we investigated more, we found that he was one of the most influential people in the city. He was a banker, owned mining interests, he had shipping interests. I mean, he basically was a baron of all trades, you know.
So it was a big wig.
This is a big, big wig.
So a lot of big deals were cut up here.
I'm sure there was a lot of big deals cut. As a matter of fact, we understand that the boys used to get together and have card parties, and there was one where all of their wives were pregnant, and they decided to name the children, who all turned out to be girls, after 4 Western states.
It was Gus' daughter, Oregon Carlson, who lived on in the house till she was 103. But Susan and Tony didn't find many of Oregon's personal items.
Look at all these old letters.
That is until they stumbled upon an old trunk in the attic.
It was like a treasure chest left behind.
It was
so
full of everything in her life.
what would you put in a box if it was going to be your entire life in just one box?
All of her letters from when she traveled throughout Europe, and all of her letters to her father and her mother.
They also discovered something about young Oregon that shocked them.
From the time she was 14 years old, Oregon was in charge of this entire house. Her mother had a nervous condition, and she was in charge of the house and all the servants and paying all the bills.
A pretty big responsibility for such a young girl who made caring for the house her life's mission. But to Susan, the best thing in that trunk was something that helped her with her own life's mission.
Oh, look at this. This is from the Armory. Look, the new Armory, this proves it. Look at 1917 to 1918. Paderewski is performing on November 2nd.
A concert program from the Duluth Armory, the building Susan had been working so hard to save. It proved that the Armory had historical significance as a cultural site.
And that was going to make this project possible and to save this incredible historic building.
So this is like Indiana Jones finding out that
Yes.
the idol was in his attic the entire time.
It was almost like Oregon left it for us.
And, as if to return the favor, Susan and Tony are saving the fabulous mansion where Oregon grew up.
She actually was going to have the house demolished because she didn't think it could be preserved and could be taken care of. And I think she would be just astounded, and this would be like her lifelong dream come true.